the Doge program
The cuts are not getting the greatest reception, even in red districts. I'm joined now by Morgan State University professor Jason Johnson, an MSNBC contributor for us, and Dartmouth professor Brooke Harrington, author of Offshore, Stealth Wealth, and the New Colonialism. Welcome to both of you. Jason, how are these cuts doing out there in the country?
They're not doing well, and they're leading to these angry town halls. But, you know, what really concerns me, Ari, is when does this anger actually turn into something? We see crowds of people yelling at members of Congress, but most of these districts voted for Trump by 60, 70, sometimes 80-something%. So you can yell all you want. You can say, I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. You can yell any way you want at your member of Congress, but you probably just elected them. And unless we see some changes, perhaps in the special elections in Florida, up or New York, I think it's all just talk right now. People are uncomfortable, but they're not willing to change.
Fair. Professor Harrington, did you hear the Kendrick Lamar Euphoria reference that was tucked in there, professor to professor?
I did. It's I admire Professor Johnson's wit so much.
Well, he keeps us on our toes. We're always listening. Professor, Jason says you're still in these red lands, and we still have to see how this plays out across the country. Given your expertise on sort of the intersection of capitalism and democracy in this country and others, what do you see at play here? Because we quite literally have a billionaire doing all this while, as I pointed out in the setup, getting caught with numbers that wouldn't work if you filed those in Wall Street and had those problems over and over. You'd be under an SEC investigation or worse.
What really strikes me as extraordinary here is Trump being totally AWOL on these issues. Like, he pops up occasionally like a jack-in-the-box to, like, fire the trustees of the Kennedy Center and appoint himself the chairman of the board. But, like, he's letting Musk and Doge tank his poll numbers and tank the stock market. And those are Trump's favorite measures of his own success. If you compare what's happening now to Trump term number one, it's like he's a different guy. And so the wheels are turning in my mind, like, why? Why is he suddenly so docile and silent in the face of these attacks on his most treasured measures of success? And I think my theory of the facts, which I hope is wrong, frankly, is that he basically said to himself, I need to stay out of prison, and here are two guys, Musk and Putin and maybe a few others, who are willing to essentially buy the presidency for me if I do their bidding or allow them to have their way with the federal government. So, if Harris had been elected, Trump stood a real chance of being imprisoned for a very long time, not just because of his 30.
Let me ask you. Yeah, I mean, those people have power, and Musk exercises a different level of independent authority than most donors. But on the facts, like it or not, Trump engineered results that did avoid prison, including a Supreme Court ruling that he will benefit from even when he leaves office again, if he leaves office again, right? I mean, whatever these 4 years bring, if he's healthy and leaves, why would this be such a leverage point if he's already passed that Rubicon, so to speak?
I don't know about you, but when I look at Trump, I see a man who doesn't want to be president, not in the sense of actually running the country on a day-to-day basis. We know that he had big debts. Maybe prison wasn't the main concern, but he owed things to the Russians, and I think he owed things to Musk after Musk spent $277 million to help him get elected. What really sticks with me, and I don't know if people remember this, but on November 12th, 2024, 1 week after the election, a Putin aide named Nikolai Patrushev made the following comment to a Russian newspaper. It seems so important to me, I wrote it down. I want to read it to you. He said, to achieve success in the election, Donald Trump relied on certain forces to which he has corresponding obligations. As a responsible person, he will be obliged to fulfill them. What a weird thing to say to an incoming American president. Like, you owe us, Buster, and we expect you to pay up. And to me, it's...
Well, and I think I'll jump in. Yeah, I'll jump in because I want to bring Jason as well. I mean, I think Those are big questions. On the one hand, the Kremlin's full of disinformation, so all three of us as empirical people, right, you have to subject every statement to the same scrutiny. On the other hand, what you said, Musk spent a lot. Musk has leverage in a tech platform where, Jason, he clearly is losing money. So it's not about making money. Yeah. They've lost a lot of money on Twitter. The markets are down, as the professor mentioned, in response to these tariff threats, and yet Musk occupies, because of Twitter and other things, this special role in the administration. So with all of that, I want to get Jason's response and play one more piece from the town halls where the markets are volatile, the people are mad. This is sort of the mood of the week. Take a look.
There's been a mandate to the president from the American people. Am I correct?
No.
All right. Well, let's just back up. There's not a mandate by the American people who overwhelmingly.
Jason.
Look, Trump ran the second time. Trump has always branded himself. I'm the chairman of the board. I'm the CEO. I'm supposed to be running things. He ain't the chairman of the board. Okay, he's not Sinatra. He's more like Dean Martin at this point, right? Like, he's not running anything. And that's also what's causing this backlash at a lower level. Because if the president were actually out there explaining to people what was going on, they'd probably tolerate it more. But instead, he seems to have abdicated all management, all communications to Elon Musk, and Musk is taking a hatchet to the federal government in a way that people are not just feeling now, but they're going to be feeling months and weeks from now. And frankly, Ari, I don't think the president cares, but I also think that Elon Musk has no political expertise one way or another, and they're leaving everybody out there to drown right now. I think Republicans and Republican voters, they don't regret their votes. I've never bought that argument, but they're concerned about them, and they're concerned about how they can justify what they've done.
Yeah. Professor Johnson, Professor Harrington, really important conversation, particularly as we fact check some of this and see where it's headed. I want to thank both of you